March 1942. The Japanese flag flew high across regions in former European colonies in Asia Pacific, including in the Netherlands East Indies. The dream of Japanese empire to build the Greater Asia was getting closer. Strategic steps were taken by the Japanese as they ruled the East Indies. One of which was engaging the movement leaders to lead in a limited scale. Hatta and Syahrir were immediately pulled out from their exiles in Banda Neira. Kuniaki Koiso, the prime minister who ruled during the Japanese occupation of the East Indies at that time, promised the independence of Indonesia. The concession became the reference for Sukarno to cooperate with the Japanese.
Dengan hati yang terharu, kami menerima pengumuman bahwa Kerajaan Dai Nippon memperkenankan kemerdekaan segenap bangsa Indonesia di kemudian hari. Hati dan jiwa kami meluaplah dengan rasa terima kasih yang sesismat-sismatnya kepada Yang Maha Mulia Tenno Heika yang bermurah hati memperkenankan terkabulnya cita-cita kami yang telah berpuluh-puluh tahun itu.
The Second World War continued. The Japanese required resources and greater power to face the battle. In the East Indies, the Japanese mobilized native Indonesians to join the war by being Heiho soldiers. Meanwhile, to build war-supporting infrastructure, the Japanese mobilized Romusha. Such propaganda films were commonly shown during the Japanese occupation in the East Indies. Such films were used to enforce Romusha labors as well as to recruit self-defense forces of Heiho. Until the end of its occupation, the Japanese had recruited up to 40,000 men into its Heiho force. Sukarno considered the Japanese as a companion against the Dutch in Indonesia. Sukarno even brought himself to talk directly to the people to convince them how important it is to get deployed to support Japan in war.
Mari kita bangunkan bersama-sama semboyan kita. Tirukan perkataan saya. Hancurkanlah bangsa kita. Yaitu Inggris, Amerika.
Until the beginning of August 1945, Japan was still ruling the East Indies and other regions in the Asia Pacific. However, the 2 atomic bombs dropped by the US in Hiroshima and Nagasaki turned the world's history. August 8, 1945, or 2 days after the atomic bombs in Hiroshima City, the highest Japanese commander in Southeast Asia, called Sukarno and Muhammad Hatta
Mangunkusumo and Suharto
in the northeast of Saigon, Vietnam. In the meeting, the Japanese announced readiness to grant independence to Indonesia. The given date was August 24, 1945. August 15, 1945, the Japanese admitted defeat and unconditionally surrendered to the Allies. However, the news about Japan's defeat was not fully convinced by Sukarno and Hatta. It was Admiral Tadashi Maeda, a senior officer of the Japanese Navy, who later confirmed the news.
Dan Maeda juga menjadi salah satu tokoh yang pertama kali mengkonfirmasi kepada Sukarno, Hatta, dan juga Ahmad Subarjo mengenai menyerahnya Jepang terhadap sekutu. Dan ketiga tokoh pergerakan Indonesia tersebut sempat berkunjung ke rumah Maeda di Jalan Imam Bonjol di Menteng pada tanggal 15 Agustus 45 guna menanyakan langsung ke Maeda mengenai hal tersebut. Dan Maeda berani menjamin keselamatan Sukarno dan Hatta. Namun untuk urusan kemerdekaan, Maeda menyerahkan sepenuhnya kepada Bung Karno dan juga Bung Hatta.
What was informed by Maeda regarding Indonesia's independence as a matter of fact was highly risky, since after being defeated, the Japanese were ordered to maintain the status quo. meaning the Japanese may not make any decisions or get involved in defining Indonesia's fate. Maeda dared to take the risk of losing his position and his life as well.
Itu nggak akan bisa membuat kita sempurna memahami apa itu proses kemerdekaan kalau kita tidak menempatkan posisi Maeda ya di dalam historiografi kita tentang peristiwa yang disebut oleh Hatta sebagai sekitar proklamasi. Nah, karena dengan begitu maka kita akan bisa mengenali posisi sentral dari Maeda yang dimainkan oleh Maeda, yang bukan sekedar meminjamkan rumahnya, tapi jauh lebih besar daripada sekedar meminjamkan rumahnya.
The close ties between Maeda and the activists was nothing new. Before the war took place, Maeda once represented Japan in the Netherlands. Maeda got to know Indonesian students, especially Ahmad Subarjo at the time.
Tahun 20-an ketika dia di Belanda, itu sedang gencar-gencarnya dikampanyekan oleh Perhimpunan Indonesia. Kita harus ingat manifesto politik begitu yang terang-terangan menuntut Indonesia merdeka sekarang gitu. Itu produk dari Bung Hatta dan Ahmad Subarjo.
Dan di masa pendudukan Jepang, Maeda sempat ditempatkan di Papua Nugini sebelum kemudian ditaruh di Jakarta sebagai perwira penghubung Angkatan Laut Jepang.
Maeda was born on March 3, 1898 in Kajiki Town, Aira District, Kagoshima, Japan. Maeda was a descendant of a respected family, the samurai of Satsuma, a region which 40% of its people were samurais.
Dan ayah dari Maeda ini merupakan seorang kepala sekolah dan berasal dari keluarga samurai terhormat. Dan Maeda sendiri merupakan alumni dari Marine College dengan spesialisasi di navigasi. Dan Maeda sempat menjadi naval attaché untuk Belanda di tahun 1940. Dan di bulan Oktober dia sempat diutus ke Batavia dalam misi diplomatik dengan Hindia Belanda, terutama dalam hal perdagangan minyak. Dan di masa pendudukan Jepang, Maeda sempat ditempatkan di Papua Nugini sebelum kemudian ditaruh di Jakarta sebagai perwira penghubung Angkatan Laut Jepang.
When Prime Minister Kuniaki Koiso promised to hand over independence to Indonesia, Maeda was assigned to form a youth organization to educate the Indonesian cadres. Due to his closeness with Ahmad Subarjo during their time in the Netherlands, Subarjo was entrusted to execute the idea. The educational institution, or some kind of school, was later named the Asrama Indonesia Merdeka, or Independent Indonesia Dormitory.
Di dalam Asrama Indonesia Merdeka ini, itu yang mengajar tokoh-tokoh nasional, ya seperti Soekarno, Hatta, kemudian Muhammad Yamin, kemudian ada juga Sanusi Pane yang mengajar sejarah. Jadi tokoh-tokoh nasional dikumpulkan dan generasi muda itu dididik, bukan hanya pendidikan mengenai nasionalisme terutama ya, tapi juga pendidikan seperti judo, karate gitu ya. Jadi organisasi yang dibuat oleh Laksamada Maeda ini sampai mengeluarkan 2 angkatan, walaupun angkatan yang berikutnya yang lebih besar 80 orang keburu Jepang kalah ya, jadi tidak pernah terbentuk.
August 15, 1945, when the Allies won the war and the Japanese surrendered, they were obligated to maintain the status quo in the East Indies territory. As a senior officer of the Japanese Navy, instead of heeding to his orders, Maeda defiantly lent his residence to Sukarno, Hatta, and other independence fighters to discuss the Indonesian independence instead of obeying the status quo order. Previously, when the news about the disappearance of Sukarno and Hatta spread, Maeda was worried. Maeda received the news from Ahmad Subarjo, who was working at the Japanese Navy Liaison Office, or Kaigun, which was chaired by Admiral Maeda at the time. Maeda immediately ordered his entrusted assistant Shigetada Nishijima to track them. Maeda was suspicious that Sukarno and Hatta were abducted by the Japanese army, or Kaigun. After investigation, Sukarno and Hatta were found out to be in Rengas Dengklok.
Jangan-jangan Soekarno-Hatta ini diculik oleh Angkatan Darat Jepang gitu. Kegelisahannya, dan kegelisahan itu simbol apa? Simbol kepedulian dia, kekhawatiran dia bahwa nanti jangan-jangan Indonesia nggak jadi merdeka. Padahal itu aspirasi dia juga karena kecintaan dia kepada Indonesia.
The house on Meiji Dori Street, which today is known as Imam Bonjol Street No. 1, was the one used by the independence fighters to formulate the proclamation text. Not only lending his house, Maeda lent all his staff as well.
Itu yang membuat Angkatan Darat itu marah ya. Dan kemudian Maeda itu dicap sebagai pengkhianat dan tidak pernah diterima dia setelah pulang dari Jepang, bukan sebagai veteran tapi sebagai orang biasa dengan pensiunan biasa. Itu sesuatu yang sangat beresiko ya.
The independence movement leaders, who had an all-night meeting at Maeda's house, decided that the proclamation would be held at Bukarlo's yard. Due to the tension, nobody contacted the Japanese Information and Propaganda Office. As a result, there was no film recording of the historical event taking place. There wasn't even any reporters at the time, only Franz Mendel, who took 2 film plates. Therefore, only 2 authentic photos were taken during the proclamation of independence of Indonesia. A few moments after the ceremony, 2 Japanese military officers came in civilian clothes. They reminded Sukarno to stop performing any political actions. Sukarno responded briefly at the time that they were too late.
Maeda tuh diinterogasi karena kepentingan dari Belanda sama sekutu adalah mencari informasi apakah betul kemerdekaan Indonesia itu ada campur tangan dari pemerintah Jepang.
Dan ia sempat diadili di pengadilan militer, namun kemudian dinyatakan tidak bersalah. Dan pada akhir Desember 1916, ia sempat dijebloskan dalam penjara di Gang Tengah di Jakarta. Dan Maeda pun dilepaskan pada tahun 47 dan kemudian memutuskan untuk mengakhiri karir militernya. Jadi tanpa tunjangan pensiun apapun untuk Maeda.
Jadi yang ingin dikorek dan didapatkan dari Maeda adalah apakah betul tuduhan yang selama ini beredar bahwa kemerdekaan Indonesia itu hanya kemauan segelintir elit yang disetir oleh pemerintah Jepang.
Saya ingat ya, tuan dia duduk ke belakang, terus ibu sama ayah menyediakan makanan karena Indonesia itu Maeda.
This is the residence of Ahmad Subarjo, located on Cikini Raya Road No. 82, Central Jakarta. This is not an ordinary house. After the establishment of Indonesia as a state, The first duty of its Foreign Affairs Department was assigned by Ahmad Subarjo at this private house. The house was often visited by Admiral Maeda. His residence on Imam Bonjol Street No. 1 was only 1.5 kilometers away. In the history of the Indonesian Independence Proclamation, Subarjo had a significant role. He was the one who contacted Admiral Maeda to lend his house for the meeting of the Preparatory of Indonesian Independence, or PPKI. Afterwards, Subarjo convinced the abductor to return Soekarno and Hatta from Rengas Dengklok to Jakarta.
Dan bila di total, rumah Maeda ini sebenarnya hanya digunakan sekitar 4 jam. Namun 4 jam ini tentu sangat vital karena menentukan nasib bangsa Indonesia untuk kedepannya. Dan menariknya, keterlibatan Maeda dalam kemerdekaan Indonesia ini sempat ditutupi hingga beberapa tahun lamanya. Dan salah satu alasannya adalah untuk menghindari propaganda sekutu dan juga Belanda bahwa Indonesia ini merupakan negara boneka fasis Jepang.
After the Indonesian independence, Admiral Maeda was imprisoned, even though he was never found guilty. In 1947, Maeda was finally sentenced guilty by the Japanese military court. Being accused of treason, Admiral Maeda was denied by the Japanese government to be recognized as a Navy veteran.
Maeda itu tidak diakui sebagai veteran, tapi diakui sebagai orang biasa, dan itu mempengaruhi pensiunan dia sehingga dia hidup melarat dan sebatang kara, dan ketika meninggal bahkan dia hanya boleh dilayat oleh keluarganya, yang lain tidak boleh. Jadi konsekuensi yang sangat berat ya dari tindakan yang dipilih oleh Maeda.
Rohadi Subarjo, one of Ahmad Subarjo's son, mentioned that after the Indonesian independence, Maeda visited his father. At this house, his father and mother accepted Maeda as a family member.
Saya ingat ya, tuan dia duduk ke belakang, terus ibu sama ayah menyediakan makanan Indonesia to Maeda.
In other opportunities, Rohadi went with his father to see Maeda in Japan. Rohadi witnessed Maeda's truly humble life in his old age.
Iya, dia sederhana. Tapi Bapak kasih buku tentang lahirnya Republik Indonesia itu diterjemahkan dalam bahasa Jawa, dan 100% hasilnya itu untuk dia.
Bung Karno itu adalah orang yang percaya betul bahwa pemerintah Jepang itu tidak pernah mendukung kemerdekaan. Yang mendukung dan memberi jalan kita untuk merdeka itu figur-figur. Dan dia harus berterima kasih karena dia berhutang budi pada orang seperti Maeda yang mau memberi jalan untuk kemerdekaan Indonesia. Karena itu Bung Karno itu menawarkan Maeda itu uang, mobil, sampai akhirnya kemudian pilihannya adalah uang, begitu ya.
He was unrecognized by his own country, while on the contrary, he was honored by Indonesia. In 1973, the Indonesian government invited Maeda to attend the Indonesian independence celebration. Here, Maeda was awarded Bintang Jasa Nararya from the government of Indonesia.
Dan pada 58, ia sempat bertemu dengan Soekarno ketika Bung Karno berkunjung di Jepang. Dan pada 17 Agustus 73, Maeda menerima Bintang Jasa Nararya dari pemerintah Indonesia. Dan 4 tahun berselang, Maeda meninggal dunia, dan Menteri Luar Negeri Indonesia kala itu, yaitu Adam Malik, kemudian mengirimkan telegram ke Jepang. Selain mengakui peranan vital Maeda dalam proklamasi kemerdekaan Indonesia, ia juga berjanji akan mencatat nama Maeda dengan tinta emas dalam sejarah Indonesia.
Due to his love to Indonesia, Maeda dreamed of spending his old days in Indonesia, but that never happened. Maeda passed away on December 13, 1977 at the age of 79.
Dan Ahmad Subarjo dalam obituarinya yang ditulis sehari atau 2 hari setelahnya meninggal, itu menggambarkan kepergian Maeda itu sebagai hilangnya kawan yang setia, yang memberikan jalan, yang membuka jalan dan kemungkinan untuk Indonesia bisa merdeka.